Ladies and gentlemen, we're down in Oppenheimer Park, Vancouver, tent city. We obviously got a homeless problem in this city as well as all over the world. Someday this war will be over. The Pleiadians have been doing a lot of work in neutralizing this recent bioweapon unleashed by the Dark Forces, known as the coronavirus, Corona-19, all that kind of stuff. Some of it is they've been releasing a special Stardust in recent weeks that's really helped to neutralize that, and has done a lot of really helped to lessen the deaths and the sickness from this virus, this bioweapon virus that the criminals have unleashed on our peoples. What I figure now is basically the Pleiadians are running the show here in large part, and we're seeing more and more signs of that. I would say the Jubilee has been spoken about for years, is already, the beginnings of that is showing now. When you see banks giving deferments in regards to paying mortgages, deferments in regards to paying credit cards, etc. And governments offering help, sending money to people that need it due to job losses and all this because of the this lockdown going on right now. So these are things we that usually don't go on. The banks, when there's a collapse like in 1929 or 2008, these orchestrated collapses that have been, it's proven these have all been orchestrated by these black magic Babylonian, Luciferian money changers. The same ones Jesus chased out of the temple a couple thousand years ago. Now they're getting chased out of the entire solar system and beyond. And so that's a great thing for anybody who just would like a nice build a nice peaceful, high quality existence for all, so everybody can thrive and follow their dreams, and as restoration of natural law is really taking place now, and that so this is unprecedented. The banks and governments, what they're doing right now, more and more starting to send monies to people, deferments on mortgages, like I was mentioning, deferments on credit cards, etc. It's the beginning of the Jubilee, I say, and because they're taking their orders off the Galactic Confederation peoples now, the Pleiadians in particular, because the Pleiadians have the most sort of invested here on the Earth of any group, if you will, in regards to all the terraforming that's gone on here to make this so beautiful planet. There's many other great groups that have been involved in helping too. Of course, the Andromedans, the Arcturians, the Lyrians, the Syrians, etc. Of course. But like, for example, the Pleiadians, the oranges, the apples, they terraform that on the Earth, eh? I mean, what a great medicine food there, a nice apple or a nice orange, eh? Eat lots of oranges and apples, folks. That's why a lot of these things were put on Earth here to help us, for medicine foods, literally, eh? As well as some of the herbs and that to help open up our mind, all kinds of stuff, when used as they're meant to be used medicinally. So as a recent message by Commander Ashtar, he mentioned the Galactic Codex. The Galactic Codex is the highest legal doctrine in the galaxy in regards to the law here in the galaxy, and that's being restored here on the Earth's surface. What a lot of us just call natural law, the common law, that kind of thing. And we can see it really happening faster and faster with the international criminal courts on the surface gaining more power. You can see it, and they're starting to prosecute the big fish criminals more and more. For example, there is an international criminal court proceedings starting here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, as of this Monday, March 30, 2020, this Monday. And I heard there's at least 50 big fish alleged criminals that are being legally processed through that. Many well-known names, etc. As far as church and state, this is more focusing on the church and state criminals involved, but not just that, corporate as well. It's really, in a sense, been this unholy trinity going on between the Luciferians and the Satanists controlling so much of what we think of as the church, the churches, the religions here on the Earth's surface. Church, so there's one. And then, of course, the governments. They have so much, in large part, controlled these governments all over the surface. Church, state, so the state, church, state, and then corporate. And then, of course, the corporations, they've in large part, you know, the dark forces have controlled up till now 80+% of this world, this prison matrix we're in. I mean, that's why it's a prison, obviously. Eh? So, great to see, and hats off to all the, like you say, the international criminal courts really showing more and more of a presence and standing up and more and gaining momentum and all that kind of stuff, and everybody doing all sorts of things to get truths out, to you know, strive, find ways to reduce the tyranny that's going on, reduce all the this jackboot illegal activity going on by states all over the world, and that. So yeah, we're taking over light forces step by step. It's really happening fast now, folks. Stay safe, stay healthy, and if you can get vitamin C, take lots of vitamin C for sure. I'm glad to see I go to the stores and the vitamin C's all sold out. That means people are really more and more catching on to the fact larger dosages of vitamin C do wonders for us, including help keep our immune system strong, and etc., and other real medicines going on. Also, I'd like to post you a link of a recent interview by Drake Bailey, who is not familiar with Drake. He's a combat veteran from the Vietnam War, and he's really, you know, an excellent light warrior, and has been speaking for years and years about all sorts of things. And he's got some interesting things also. He speaks of quinine water. I'm not familiar myself, but coming from Drake, you might want to check that out. He speaks of quinine water and some other things he utilizes and others. So I think that's great to see. There are many good medicines around. There really is. And like I say, for me, this is one of the go-tos for me as far as preventing colds, flus, viruses, all kinds of stuff, eh? And maintaining, reducing the pathogens in the body by taking it here and there as well. And there's lots of information on, Jim Humble's got a book, he's got it more and more down to a science than ever, of how we can administer chlorine dioxide in various medicinal ways to help ourselves and others, that kind of thing. So, because I mean, ultimately, yeah, we want to keep the pathogens levels down in our body. We get too many pathogens, and tumors form, cancerous tumors, etc. Starts to attack our organs more, like all kinds of stuff. Ultimately, it'll kill us. When often it doesn't have to. It really doesn't have to. So many of the people dying of this recent virus, of course, are because they already have existing medical conditions, diseases. A lot of times their immune system is breached. And because our people aren't getting things that could really help them, including the elderly, so that we could keep our immune system strong and keep the pathogens in our bodies down, and parasites and stuff. It's good to see. I think the more and more people are looking around and studying and researching for themselves and seeing, yeah, there's some real good medicines around. About the 5G network and that. Excerpt from Cobra, one of his recent writings. There's definitely a link to Cobra's website below for anybody who's not familiar with Cobra Portal 2012's website. It's got all sorts of intel going right back to 2012, including these recent reports, including a lot about the meditations, the mass meditation coming up in about 1 week's time. So Cobra writes here as another excerpt from one of Cobra's writing, 5G network is part of the plan of the dark forces to reinforce quarantine Earth. And there's lots of links Cobra puts in his writings here to support what he's saying here. Chimera-controlled U.S. Space Force wants to use 5G as a defense line against positive extraterrestrials. What is happening right now is the peak of the quantum war for planet Earth between the positive extraterrestrial forces and the Chimera group. Details of that quantum war cannot be released yet. I can only say that the positive side is removing toplet bombs and the negative side is developing technologies like this one. And he posts another link below about something the Dark Force have been working on recently. When Cobra speaks of the toplet bombs, in case anybody's not familiar, this is the scalar weapons on the plasma level, the plasma plane of things. The plasma plane, thanks to more advanced life forces in play, the Pleiadians, etc., so much of the Dark Force weapons, plasma weapons, scalar weapons, have been removed. All these energetic distortion systems, Dark Force life forms on the plasma plane. It's really it's been so cleared in recent weeks and months. It's amazing, and we're feeling it more and more and seeing it more and more in this physical plane that's in front of us, of course. So we're very close. We're very close. You know, the event is imminent. Absolutely. We'll get there, and we're getting there. This beautiful Mother Earth will be fully liberated soon. And also the as far as the Chimera group, yeah. In case anybody's not familiar, when you hear about the Chimera group, that's the top of the Dark Forces here in play. The Chimera are the top, and the Chimera, they're actually insectoid. Believe it or not, eh? Imagine that, eh? An insect running the old neighborhood, eh? Isn't that crazy, eh? Because so you got the Chimera, which are basically insectoids. There's physical insectoid, big spiders, and that most of them have apparently, from what I've heard, they're all removed from below the surface here, and then they exist on the plasma plane as well, and they exist in on the etheric plane, etc. They exist on all levels, just like we do at various levels. But there's been so much clearing of them: the plasma anomaly, the Chimera spiders, etc. So that's really the, as far as the hierarchy of the Dark Forces in play, you got the Chimera, and these are insectoids, and then you've got the Draconians, and they're negative reptilians, obviously. Pretty nasty folks, eh? Their head looks just like a crocodile, eh? And great warriors, but we're great warriors too, folks. A lot of us, we've been fighting those people for, I'm going to say hundreds of thousands of years, but actually even millions of years, eh? So this war has been going on for a long time, eh? And the galaxies will be completely freed soon. This is the last stronghold of the Dark Forces right here on Earth. And so it's all getting cleared up now, thanks to many, many positive forces in play. Okay, so now a little more on what Cobra writes here. Here you need to understand that in every war there are moments of victory and there are moments of defeat. The road ahead may be quite intense and bumpy, and things may not always go according to the plan or as predicted. But we will be victorious in the end. Absolutely, man. Okay, here's a little bit from Commander Ashtar's recent transmission. Ashtar Sharon. A couple of excerpts I'd like to read here. This is from April 22, 2020. Now's the time when all distorted is being dissolved. Even those who have forgotten the light cannot escape this purification process. We often pointed out that you devote yourself to inner work and transform your shadows into light. You are actively and completely freeing yourselves from the old structures to turn back to the soul families. Now, I'll post the link below for the whole transmission here, the whole message from the commander, because I figured this is quite profound and very, very helpful in this times. I thank you, Commander Ashtar. Commander Ashtar, the commander of Ashtar Command, that's the special forces of the Galactic Life Forces. Best warriors in the galaxy, man. Okay, so here it is. I'd just like to read a couple of excerpts through here. Now, Commander goes to say here that he's talking about the Ashtar Command here. We have technologies and capabilities that go far beyond the understanding and capabilities of non-Confederation members, but also far beyond the understanding of the surface population. We have abilities through which we can read the energies of the intentions and thoughts of the beings that have forgotten the light. We're talking about the dark, what we just kind of call the cabal here, the dark forces, of course, eh? And therefore, we know about their next planned steps so that we can always take timely action. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, and I didn't realize the folks from Ashtar Command and that call Earth Shan. We are determined to liberate the living being Shan, which you call Earth. We explicitly say the living being Shan, Earth, because the Earth, how you call her, comes first. This also includes the ecosystems to restore balance in the creation. We respect and honor this highlight being Shan, which you call Earth, and its laws, which are one with the creation. So that's really the deal, folks, eh? Mother Earth, that's first priority here, the liberation of Mother Earth and all the animal kingdom. And then us humans on the surface, they have been doing and continue to do everything they can to reduce all the harms that come to us and the pain and suffering, death and destruction. And but also, of course, we got a job to do too. They're not really not here to wet nurse us, so to speak. We're very powerful beings here. Those of us walking the earth too, and it's good to see more and more people on the earth are awakening more and opening up to their powers, psionic powers, their higher self, taking guidance in their higher self and their spirit guides and guardian angels and all sorts of great beings in this this battle, this war between light and dark. And so we can help them, they can help us. It's like, you know what I mean, like so that's good to see. I think the surface population is every day becoming more empowered, and we certainly want to be doing that, so that we can, in large part, the vast majority of us can continue and help to build this golden age that we're entering into, this age of Aquarius, all that kind of cool stuff. Now, so that is, oh yeah, I just want to read another excerpt from the commander here. That basically, oh, just yeah, just and a little more from the transmission from Ashtar, and like I say, I'll put the link below. Anybody want to read the whole transmission if they haven't already. The commander goes on to say, the time is now. The time has come to become fully and permanently active, to come together in a network and join us, your sisters and brothers, for activating the Galactic Codex on Shan, Earth, now. There will be no other time. And then the commander goes on to say, do not worry about the current situation. Stay calm and relaxed, but be active in spanning the network in the background. Now is the time. Those who have forgotten the light orchestrated this situation, but underestimated our presence and the possibilities through which we can gain advantage now. They also have underestimated that they now have triggered a great wave of awakening by themselves. The purification is gaining momentum. We are positioned and have prepared ourselves for it with our allies. Herewith, I am ending my message. My deep love to you is limitless. Your brother, Ashtar Sharan, Adonai. Yeah, Commander Ashtar, man. Awesome. Hey, folks, so that's, check that whole transmission from the commander if you like. And pretty profoundly powerful stuff, eh? Okay, in regards to this meditation coming up on April 4th and 5th, depending where we are in the world, the timelines, it's a 20-minute meditation. And just a little highlight here, we will gather 1 million people to terminate this pandemic and take back our beautiful life. April 4th, 5th, 2020, end of coronavirus meditation. And this is going to really help, especially more and more of us participate here. And of course, reaching critical mass is huge. If we get at least 140,000, 150,000 people meditating, usually we can reach critical mass, like we did in January of this year. We reached critical mass, and there was approximately 150,000 of us meditating, and so it had some very positive effects for sure ever since. And we're really the cleansing, the purification of this planet is so much of that is going on and continues to go on. Thanks to positive forces at all levels, absolutely. Lovely Gaia, Nirvana's oasis. Lovely Gaia, lovely skies, lovely mother, tears in her eyes. Lovely oceans, lovely mountains so high, lovely forests for all to thrive. The colonies are liberated, the United Star is born. Healing and comfort comes much of the storm. So they freed themselves from the Matrix, and they built their Nirvana's oasis. Yeah, victory of the light. For light, to light, be light, in light, sacred light.